5 ways to stop caring about someone who hurt you. It is natural to care about people and relationships. But sometimes, the person you care about the most can hurt you. In these cases, it's normal to feel hurt and angry. The good news is that there are ways to overcome this feeling of caring for someone who hurt you. Before we start, please subscribe and like my video. 1. Remember that they are not perfect. When you care about someone, it can be hard to stop caring. You might be feeling hurt, confused, or even angry. You might not know how to stop caring about them. There are many reasons why we care about someone, but that doesn't mean that we should always care about them. It's possible to care too much, and it can lead us down a path of pain and misery. It's important to remember that they're not perfect and they don't deserve all of our attention and love when they don't want it from us anymore, and we don't want it from them either. 2. Be mindful of your own needs. We should be mindful of our own needs and not just the needs of others. We should not forget that we are human beings with our own emotions, thoughts, and feelings. And there is nothing wrong with asking for help when we need it. Mindfulness is the practice of consciously focusing on the present moment and accepting it without judgment. Scientific research has found that mindfulness is a key element in managing stress and increasing happiness. Mindfulness is having a bit of an existential crisis, but it's worth giving it another shot. Mindfulness can help improve many aspects of life that, in turn, lead to satisfaction. Really being mindful can make it easier to enjoy life and be fully engaged in activities. It can also help you stay calmer and create a greater capacity to deal with adverse events. Being mindful helps you enjoy the pleasures of life as they happen, become fully engaged in activities, and deal with negative events without getting overwhelmed. Mindfulness practices can help people to find their moment here and now, not worried about the future or missing out on what's happening in the present. Those who practice it often say that they're calmer, more focused, and less reactive to others' mistakes. Research has consistently shown that mindfulness meditation can improve physical health. This is due to its ability to help people manage their stress and chronic pain levels. Mindfulness meditation improves mental health. It's clear that mindfulness meditation is having a major impact on the field of psychotherapy. Research has shown that it can be helpful for treating things like depression and anxiety. 3. Try to avoid situations where they will be present. The best way to avoid the people who do not like is to not be present. It is natural to want to avoid people who hurt you, but if you find yourself in a situation where they are present, try to be polite. People who hurt us can be difficult to deal with. When we feel angry or upset by their actions, it's natural to want to avoid them. However, this doesn't mean that we should actively engage in avoidance behaviors or otherwise make them uncomfortable when they are around. If you find yourself in a situation where they are present and you don't have the opportunity to leave without being rude, try your best to be polite and avoid any type of confrontation. It is important not only for your own well-being but also for the well-being of others that we remember our manners in all situations. 4. Focus on what you want in life. This section is about how to focus on what you want in life. To do this, you need to find out what is important to you in your life. Once you identify these things, it will be easier for you to determine what your goals are and focus on them. In order to accurately and effectively identify what is important to you, it is helpful to create a list of 50 things that are important. The items on your list should be one thing each. If you have difficulty determining what is important to you, try this exercise. What do I most desire? What's the core of who I am? What would make my life better overall? Who are the people around me that matter most in my life? The first step of this process is to find out what matters most in your life. You might think that the answer would be money or fame, but that might not actually be true for everyone. For example, someone who has a family might value time with their family more than anything else in the world. The second step is figuring out where your priorities lie and prioritizing those things accordingly. If your main priority is family time, then this should come before work or hobbies. When it comes to scheduling time for yourself each day or week. 5. Find a way to forgive them. A lot of people are hurt, and there are many reasons why. People hurt each other in a number of ways, but the most common is by being unkind. The most important thing to remember is that forgiving someone is not required, especially if the person is still a threat to your well-being. Forgiving someone doesn't mean you are responsible for them, nor does it mean anything to you. That is something I have control over, and something that won't harm me in any way. Forgiving someone who is hurtful to you is an admirable feat, but it takes time and patience. Is there any way that you have been hurt that you could find a way to turn it into something positive? In the decision to forgive someone, there are many aspects to consider. Are you forgiving them for their sake or for your own? Getting angry and holding on to past hurt and pain can be crippling. By, instead, choosing to forgive, you're empowering yourself by releasing anger and resentment, ultimately making your life more enjoyable.